Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin with Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boating with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
All right, Jason.
All right, here we are.
Here we go.
Live and on time.
Live. Coming at you live from Studio 12. You know, on Thursdays, it's 1229J. That was kind of like destined. You know where I'm going with this? 1229J rhymes with Pastor Bay. See?
No, please.
It was destined. Because if it would have been like, 1229R, what would that rhyme with? You'd have to be Pastor Carr, or something.
Yeah, or you could be just Rob.
Well, see, my name don't. The first word. This is bad, Jason. The first word that popped into my head that rhymes with Rob starts with an SL at the beginning.
No.
Look, I looked down at my belly. I said, "Brother, you need to."
No.
I will be honest. I cheated yesterday.
Uh-oh. McDonald's?
Yes, sir.
Me too.
Did you?
Yeah.
At McDonald's?
Yeah.
Oh, no, Jason. Man, I'm a bad influence. Good night. What did you have?
McDouble.
Oh, okay. McDonald's, the McDouble. There you go, man. I ordered, here's the thing. I ordered something through the app. It was they had those Angel Reese things going for a while.
Uh-huh.
And it's a quarter pounder with bacon and barbecue. It's actually fairly good.
Yeah.
So they didn't call it the Angel Reese anymore, but it was on the app still, and it said bacon barbecue quarter pounder. I said, man, that sounds good. I'm going to get that real quick. So I order it all, and the problem with McDonald's, this is how they get you. The food actually at McDonald's, I think, is let's be honest, it's not something you should have every day. I mean, once in a while, like Joshua Harris always told me, do everything in moderation.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. And I need to listen to that, honestly. But here's the deal. McDonald's, when you order, it's not that expensive compared to everywhere else.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it's cheaper to go to McDonald's than buying groceries now.
Yeah,
and that's not a good thing.
No.
Here's the problem, though. Every time you go, and even if you spend $7, man, their app and their reward system is the absolute best of anyone.
Yeah, it is.
And I never run out of points. And right now I'm at 10,302 points.
Golly.
And it never goes below 10,000. And it's not that I order a ton of food, but every time I go,
Use that.
I use the app, but then I order through the app. And every time I go, I can get a free chicken sandwich. So that's how they get you hooked.
Yeah, really. Tell me about it.
And then the other problem is, I drink diet sodas, which I'm Jason, you don't have your drink this morning.
I don't.
All right. Man, that's
You're impressed, aren't you?
We may be moving in the right way, in the right direction here. Okay. So the problem is I'm a sucker for sweet tea. Oh man, I love a good cup of sweet iced tea. Did your mom did she ever have tea always going for y'all?
Oh yeah, that's all we drank.
My mom, she didn't like have the instant tea stuff or whatever. She always boiled the tea. So I remember growing up, all we had going in the house on the stove was always a boiling pot of tea, and then she'd pour it into a container, put it in the fridge, and we were good to go. We did make sun tea when we were kids too. That was always fun. But sweet tea is extremely dangerous because of the high content of sugar.
Yeah, no kidding. Especially at McDonald's.
Yeah. So and their sweet teas, I'm going to put them up against anybody.
Yeah, no kidding. It's like syrup.
It's but you have to hit it at the right time, because if you hit it at the wrong time, that it's like the bottom of the barrel. So if you get it right in the middle, you can't get it right when they do it, and you can't get it right at the end. You've got to get it right in the middle. They get that tea going about 8:02 in the morning. 8:02, Jason. I've averaged this out because I go in once in a while, look at the tags. It says when it was made.
Oh, right.
The average is 8:02 a.m.
Wow, Rob's got this down to a fine art.
But they do this because at noon, that's the big rush, right? So that's when the tea, I think, tastes the best, is at lunch.
All right, way to go.
So if you go at lunch, you're going to get the best tasting McDonald's tea. If you go in the evening, you're going to get the bottom of it, and it ain't that good. It's kind of like going through Chick-fil-A, and then if they don't say my pleasure, you kind of get discouraged.
Yeah.
Same thing if you go through McDonald's and you get a sweet tea and it doesn't taste good, you get discouraged.
Yeah. I wonder how many gallons of tea they go through a day.
That's a good question for today. Somebody find that out for us and let us know on the show. This is very important information that is detrimental to this show and to our community.
It's probably the cheapest thing on the menu, too.
You remember when they used to have $1 for a large?
Yeah.
It was large and no more.
The cheapest thing they can make. You know what I'm saying? All they put in there is tea and sugar. It's got to be a lot cheaper than soda.
Do you still drink a good sweet tea once in a while?
Yeah, I like sweet tea. I typically don't get it at McDonald's, though.
The other place, you probably know about this because you were in the Waco area, Bush's Chicken.
Yeah, they do have good sweet tea, and the Red Diamond tea that you get in the gallons at the grocery store. But I mean that stuff is so sugary that I don't know, it's probably going to give you diabetes.
Well, or as our friend Wilford Brimley would say, diabetes.
Yeah, diabetes.
And if you have it, you better check your blood sugar, and you better check it often, and then you call Liberty Medical. And there ain't no reason you shouldn't. All right. So Wilford Brimley. I'm Wilford Brimley. We do want to welcome you in, as always. Thanks for being here on a Thankful Thursday. We're up and rolling and inching ever closer to that 500 mark. We'll hit episode 500 if the good Lord's will and the creeks don't rise, as my dad used to always say, on Tuesday of next week. And we are considering taking the show on the road, and we want to invite people to come out and be a part of that show in person. Of course, we have our little studio here at first, but just a few seats. We'd like to really take it on the road, and I really want to do like a breakfast tacos and invite people to come out. And
that'll be fun.
I'll ask Delphina at Rodeo. I'm sure she will, and we'll have breakfast tacos. And maybe I need to talk to Billy, but maybe we'll do it at the Sam Houston Community Room on Tuesday morning. But we just want to have a special celebration, a big thank you celebration to all of you.
That'll be great.
For helping us now for nearly two and a half years as we continue rolling on. We are here this morning, though, episode 497 on a very thankful Thursday. Big thank you, as always, to our good friend Elliot Herzlich. He's online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. In fact, Elliot's going to drop by a little bit later this morning as well and say hello to us. So we got a great show lined up, but our friend Laura Green is here this morning from CASA. Big event coming up on Saturday that, as I was looking at my calendar and we've been pushing, promoting, and talking about it, And I said, Jason, that's coming up on Saturday, and I don't have anything ready yet. So I'm going to get hot to trot tomorrow and get everything ready for that. It is the All Things Kids Expo, a lot of fun, and just a wonderful time to come out to the Huntsville Church of Christ parking lot. They're going to have vendors from all over town with things with children. How can you get your child involved in this, and what opportunities are available for children? It's once again, it's just a great event, and the reason it's so great, the person behind it, Laura Green and her staff the staff over there at CASA, they do a great job, and Kimberly, the executive director, we just love them, and we love the organization and what they stand for. So, well, real quick before we take a first break, Jason, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Great Easter on Sunday. Do you mind highlighting a little bit about Easter?
Yeah, it was a wonderful service. I think we talked about it yesterday, and more people here than we've ever had before, and that was a wonderful thing. I had to get out chairs, and it's just great to see the church completely full. And it was a great day. The weather was supposed to be stormy, and it held off, and we got to have the Easter egg hunt and bounce houses and everything else for the kids, and just a wonderful day to be in the house of the Lord, and just a reminder that the early church, they began meeting on Sundays because of the resurrection, and they continued to celebrate Sunday after Sunday the resurrection. So just because you didn't make it on Easter doesn't mean you can't come next Sunday.
Yeah,
this Sunday.
Well, it was great, and it was a perfect time for us too to move. We took our media. My goal in ministry, and I challenge this to anybody, not even just in ministry, but in your personal life. And even in your professional life, think of one thing a week that you can change or add or do.
Better, yeah.
And that could be for you personally. So think of one way that you can improve something about yourself. Maybe it's diet. Just think of one thing. And this has really worked well for me, because if you try to think of 20 things at once, it's extremely overwhelming. But if you have a goal, think of one manageable goal every week that you can accomplish. And so with our media ministry here at First, we're so blessed to have so many young folks involved now. And I want to thank Chad, our youth minister, and Alan Barnes, our worship pastor, for really connecting the dots and then helping me get this team going. And it has been incredible, because now we have a rotation. And so that was kind of the first thing. That was one thing to do. Another thing was improve the lighting on our cameras. That was another week. And then we added a new lens on the camera. That was another week. So it's just simple little things.
Yeah.
And then we had the bright idea of, hey, let's move that camera back downstairs, but let's make some room, because we're going to eventually put a sound booth down there. And all of those things now have added up, and you fast forward 6 weeks, that's 6 new things that we've done.
Yeah.
And the quality is dramatically improved. And the reason I say all this is because if we would have thought of those 6 things all at once and said, let's get all 6 of these things done this week, we probably wouldn't have them done. And all of that adds up each week. The only bad thing about that lens is, I'm a fan of McDonald's, as we've talked about. And unfortunately, the camera has zoomed in quite a bit on me when I did announcements. And Bridget told me, she said, you look like a sick bulldog. So I think the way she worded it. She was giving me a hard time last night. See, we have a very loving relationship. And I said, thank you, sweetheart, for that. Because it was actually my fault. I said, Bridget, I look absolutely terrible. And
the best thing to do, Rob, is just not watch it back. I learned that a long time ago.
Yeah, well, Jason, you looked all right, man, And I was at a church back in the day, and it was kind of funny, but I guess, with media, don't worry, I don't think we'll ever get to this part, so you don't have to worry about it, but at our old church, they would literally do makeup before the service because they were on TV too. They would take it and air it on the local Fox station there in Austin. But I'll never forget when I had to go in and do a testimonial video. They said, well, hey, come back to this room first. And all of a sudden, this girl shows up with like this little palette, and I was like, "What are we going to be like Bob Ross here and start drawing stuff?" And little pretty little tree here. She's like, "No, we need to put on some makeup." I said, "No, you ain't putting no makeup on me." And they go, "No, it's whatever they call it, like camera makeup." And man,
they just told that to fool you, Rob.
Yeah, I said, "Man, I had to deal with this with my sister when I was a little kid. I don't need to deal with it anymore." So there you go. But it was, again, that's my inspiration this morning already for all of you, is just challenge yourself in your personal life and in your professional life. So that's only 2 things. one thing in your personal life, one thing in your professional life each week that you can improve on.
Yeah.
And if you do that, I think great things happen.
Absolutely. One of my professors in my leadership class, he would always say, many times we overestimate what we can do in the short term, but underestimate what we can do in the long term. And that's kind of what you're saying. If you just work at it a little bit each day over the long term, you can make strides of improvement. But if you try to do everything at once, you get overwhelmed.
Jason, whenever you bring these things up, man, I'm always, like in our staff meetings, you'll say, well, my professor taught me this and that. I'm saying, man, you got a solid memory because you just pulled it. And I'm like, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast an hour after the show starts, man. So you need to write a book and compile all of this because I need to like as much wisdom as I can get, brother. So
well, that's probably why I remember it because I need it.
Well, hey, again, we have a great show here lined up today. Laura Green with us from CASA, also a special guest as well. And we'll take a break here in just a few moments. I do want to remind you, we got a little prize we're giving away today. Someone had blessed us with some pretty neat stuff, and we want to give that away today. One of it's going to be a Cafe Texan gift card.
All right.
So we have some more of those, and all you got to do right now is just text in your name on the Zero Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0139. Again, text in your name to 936-339-0139. We'll call the winner at the end of the show. As always, our Thankful Thursday is brought to you by First Baptist Church, a harbor of hope here in Huntsville. Please go online. You can find out more information at fbchuntsville.org. We'll take our first break. Our friends and guests join us when we come back. More to come at your show here on a Thankful Thursday. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us, please.
The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." At First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. Imagine a professional office space that elevates your business image without the corporate price tag. Huntsville Executive Office Suites are coming soon to Lake Road. Enjoy high-speed internet, a fully equipped kitchen, and 24/7 secure access. Take advantage of our live answering service, advertising on our outdoor video sign, and a convenient location just a quarter mile from SHSU. Lease terms start at 6 months. Call Raven Property Management at 936-225-4378. Huntsville Executive Office Suites. Grow your business without outgrowing your budget.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
This is KHSP-LP, Huntsville, Texas, the spirit of Huntsville.
This
This is Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, and you're listening to Spirit Radio.
Support for SpiritRadio.fm comes from loyal listeners just like you. Want to help spread the good news across Huntsville and beyond? Underwriting opportunities are available for loyal listeners, businesses, and nonprofits. Visit SpiritRadio.fm and tap Donate today.
All right, friends, back at it. How about 70 degrees this morning? Nice. 97% humidity. Boy, it's so nice outside. You just walk outside. Feels so great. 97%. At least it's not 100. We're always positive on this show. 30% chance of rain today, 30 tonight, Friday, 40%, and then bye-bye rain. Just in time for the All Things Kids Expo. Check this out. It's always a lot of fun. Not only will we get to have Laura Green on the show, but once in a while we get to have new guests as well. And our friends, Laura Green is here. Laura, I'll let you introduce our friend this morning. Welcome in.
I'd be glad to introduce. This is Clyde Turanian. He is with Eastco Air Conditioning, and we are so excited to share that he is our presenting sponsor for All About Kids Expo this year.
All right, Clyde, welcome, my friend.
Thank you very much. Great studio, great attitude. You know what? I have to bring up the weather too, because a lot of people want to talk about the weather. And Genesis 8:22 reminds us that as long as the earth remains, there'll be seed time and harvest, summer, winter, hot and cold. And so that's right up our alley with air conditioning and heating. That it's a great day to have dehumidification. But Saturday is going to be a great day for weather and this great event. So proud to be part of it and to sponsor it.
Yeah, well, that's great. We're going to talk about All Things Kids Expo here in just a few moments. Laura Green joining us with CASA, the court-appointed special advocates. So great to have you all this morning. Laura, I was kind of testing you, just in case, if you ever want to hop on as a co-host. So great, awesome job. I'm so excited. You are now our official co-host. When we need you, we'll call you. And when we need some spiritual uplifting, when Jason's only here on Thursdays, we're going to bring on Clyde. So y'all did great. I'm going to take 2 weeks off. So thank y'all so much.
You're welcome.
So it's this. I've been looking for this for, we're all closing in on 2.5, almost 3 years now. So I'm very excited. Wow. So thank y'all. I finally get a break. So
I heard you say you're fixing to have your 500th episode.
500th.
That's incredible.
And for the last month, I've been saying 500th.
500th?
Yeah, because I can't. My brain just doesn't compute things correctly. Well, so I finally got it right today. 500. Well, Laura, real quick, we want to talk about the event, but I'd like to get to know Clyde first, if that's okay.
Please do.
Clyde, let us know just a little bit about you, maybe your connection to Huntsville. We'll talk business in a moment, but let's just kind of get to know you a little bit, if that's okay, my friend. Just talk about your connection here, family, those kind of things. If
Absolutely.
You don't mind.
Thank you for that opportunity. My wife, Alina, and I have been married for 33 plus years. We've raised 4 champion kids, actually up here in the Huntsville area. And we currently live in New Waverly and love the area, love Hilly Huntsville, been involved with the community in many, many ways, support many churches in the area, and are very active in the community. That's how I met Laura years ago. I could almost say decades ago now. And so we're proud to be part of this event, but also the community. And as a believer, as a Christian, I really believe that ministry in the marketplace is very important.
Amen.
I think that all of us can let our light shine and make a difference. As I mentioned yesterday with some fine people that I was with, I said, we don't just get up to go to work. We, same thing, day in, day out. Get up, go to work, go home, go to sleep, get up, go. No, we get up and go out to make a difference.
Amen.
And each and every one of us have that opportunity. When we have the light of Jesus Christ, in us and through us, there's hope for people who need it, especially now more than ever. And I mentioned Genesis 8:22, which states that as long as the earth remains, seed time and harvest. What a glorious resurrection weekend we just came through. So many hearts turning to the Lord. So many are welcoming the gospel like never before. And it is good news, and that's what we get to bring. And so have two grandchildren. Just do a shout out there for Judah and Luca. Joshua and Mackenzie are just, they're the first to give us that offspring. But Eastco Air Conditioning, we've been around for over 4 decades now. And my sons Caleb and Joshua are pretty much in the operations there. My wife Alina is involved with the business as well. Lena and I are crazy about each other. Just our relationship is stronger and stronger every day, and I give God all the glory for that. But also, it's great to have a Christian a family, and work and family is a balance. You have to work at that. It really takes the right chemistry, and we have that at Eastco, a great team of professionals as well that we feel like their family as well. We've been serving residential and commercial customers, in Texas for, like I said, over 40 years. Wow.
Well, let us know. I've always wondered this too, and Clyde, I'm so glad. And Laura, thank you so much for bringing Clyde. I'm sitting here. The more he talks, I'm like, brother, you got to come back already. So, and Laura, you're gonna need to keep bringing guests. This is great. But Clyde, I've always wondered the name. Can you talk a little bit about just the name and where the name came from? I've always wondered that.
A great question. It's an acronym. It is, and in air conditioning and heating, there's more acronyms than we can shake a stick at. HVAC. Most of us have heard of that, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, but there are so many others. ESCO is an acronym for Energy Alternative Service Company.
Oh, awesome.
So prior to really going full bore with the commercial air conditioning and heating, it was very involved with solar and geothermal and heat reclaim, and this was 40 years ago. So a little ahead of its time, and we have usually led the wave in the industry and understand building science, understanding all the dynamics for comfort and safety in homes and businesses, and of course high efficiency is just the icing on the cake.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate all that. We're
going to test you on that. This Energy Alternative Service Company. Just call us Eastco.
Yeah, you better get it. So, well, Clyde, thank you so much for that. I love your enthusiasm, and I've always said so many times on this business, and Laura's heard it too. On this show, many others have heard this too. If you're passionate about what you do, you enjoy what you do. There's days, of course, where some days are tough, but when you're passionate about what you do, you'll find success. And I truly believe that the Lord puts a passion in us for a reason for things. And if we can exemplify that passion and really, really have it and breathe it, boy, I'm telling you, good things happen. And that's what's happened with you guys at Eastco. So thank you for sharing your passion and enthusiasm for your business.
Thank you. And, I also, I really believe that with success, I like that saying that if you ever see a turtle on a fence post, no, they didn't get there by themselves. No way, not a turtle. But, the community had a lot to do with raising our children as well. At one point, all 4 of our kids were attending. They attended Alpha Omega. There was also, charter schools that they were involved with, and that's part of the community too. Education plays a very important part, and we're seeing that, of course, and that's what Eastco likes to do as well, educate our customers. Air conditioning, heating, comfort, and safety in the home is a big deal, and we take it seriously, but we have a lot of fun while we do it too.
That's great. Well, Laura, the connection is so great, and what an awesome partner to partner up with this year's y'all's presenting sponsor, Eastco, for the All Things Kids Expo. Let us know a little bit about just what you've been up to, and then let's talk about the event. I'm really excited about Saturday.
I'm very excited about Saturday, especially because the weather looks so good.
Yeah.
Just been busy doing all the things that we have going on at CASA. This week is Volunteer Appreciation Week, so we've been honoring several of our board members and advocates with that, and we have some special things planned for this evening for them. But we always want to honor them because they are the heart of our organization, and we couldn't do the work we do without them.
I did want to ask too, and if it's been filled, I'm sorry I didn't know, but I saw a job posting. Is that still available?
That is
doesn't
still
happen
available.
often in CASA's organization.
Right. That is still available. In fact, we are just beginning to start the interview process. So if somebody is interested, they can still apply, but they probably need to hurry.
Yeah, go to casaofwalkercounty.org. I know all that information's there. But
yes.
Well, let's dig in. Again, Saturday, rain, not in the forecast. Fingers crossed. We've been praying, saying, Lord, let's keep it away this Saturday. And he is blessing us with it now so we can get it out of here for the weekend.
That's right.
Really excited about this year's event. Let us know about it.
Well, it is happening Saturday from 9 to 3. You mentioned earlier that it is at the Huntsville Church of Christ out on Highway 30, and that is where it's going to be located. We utilize the entire parking lot. So there's so many vendors that are going to be out there, and lots of activities for kids. And somebody actually emailed me yesterday and said, okay, tell me what does it cost? It doesn't cost anything. It is absolutely free to go to this event. Free admission. We have free parking and shuttle service. All the activities in the kids zone are free. And we have 3 bounce houses, a petting zoo, a rock wall, archery, a train, a balloon artist, face painting, a putting green. I mean, just there's so many things for the kids to do, and all those activities are 100% free. So that's really cool. The only thing you'll have to pay for if you attend is if you decide to purchase something in the food zone. We'll have a food
Yummy.
trucks out there. And we have maybe 4 vendors that will be selling things. But all the others are going to just be providing resources. A lot of them have activities for the kids, and a lot of them have giveaways for the kids. So you can, it's like Halloween, you can go and just take your bag and load up.
That's right. Or if you're like my friends from up north, when I had that short stint in Fargo, you can take your big up there. You can bring your big.
Oh, let's not go there.
We'll keep the cold. We have a lot. It's great. We have a lot of friends
Exactly.
from Fargo that joined the show. Just made some friends up there, and they always give me a hard time about my Southern talk. So I always give them a hard time about their Fargo talk. But great folks. Hey, I'm going to tell you, if you get a chance, come down here and be a part of this. I was there last year, even in the rain last year. It still was a phenomenal event. This year, I can only imagine it's going to be even better because of this. One thing, too, people had some questions. Someone had commented earlier about transportation. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So you can find this information on the CASA website. If you go to our event page for All About Kids Expo, all this information is there. It's also on the All About Kids Facebook page. But we have several locations for you to park at. And like I said, they are free, and we provide a shuttle. So you can park at Alpha Omega, Fellowship of Huntsville, Faith Lutheran Church, or the Huntsville Nazarene Church. And we also have the Walker County Fairgrounds, too. We're trying to push the other lots a little bit more because they're a little closer. But we have those 5 different lots. We have 5 different shuttles going all day. So, and if you have strollers or wheelchairs, or Dad wants to drop off the entire family, you can do that. You can actually pull into the church parking lot along with the shuttles, pull in, drop off your family, and then you can go park and then take the shuttle over. So we've got all that covered. It's real easy. And so just, remember that. And like I said, if you forget that information, it's on the CASA website.
Wonderful. Again, it is the All Things Kids Expo. Gets underway 10 a.m. Is that correct?
9 a.m. to 3.
9 to 3.
Yes.
So.
Last year we had to shut it down a little early because of the rain, but this year it looks like it's going to be beautiful. We have some special characters that are coming out that day. So Eastco will be providing one of those. So come out and
Eastco
see
duck,
that.
the dirty duck. We clean duck work. That's
the dirty
duck.
duck.
A play on words. A play on words.
So, and I believe the Chick-fil-A cow is going to be out there, and H-E-B Buddy is going to be out there. So we have a lot of those things. We have, oh my gosh, there's so many different vendors. And this is, honestly, it's a one-stop shop opportunity for parents to find out all the things there are for kids to do in our community. So if you want to find out how to join Scouts, if you want to find out how to be involved in baseball, youth baseball, soccer, music, different school options.
VBSs, I know
VBS,
churches are going to be talking about that.
We have several churches talking about VBS because, that's just around the corner. Summer camps. We even have pediatric health services. So you can find out some of those, financial services. There's just a little bit of everything out there, and we're super excited about that.
Obviously, I always like food.
There's some
I think
good
all
food
of
out
us,
there.
raise your hand if you like food. I think all of us like a good meal. Do you know, can you name the vendors? I
Sure.
don't want, I wanted to be careful because I didn't want to leave anybody out.
Yeah,
but who do
I
we
don't
have
want to leave anybody out either. But we have Frank's Taco Station out there. If y'all have not tried Frank's, he partners with us every month, and we do Food Truck Friday, which is coming up next Friday. So be sure to remember that. But he has a great menu, so enjoy that. We also have Double Dave's Pizza this year. We'll be
awesome.
out there.
Kathleen does great work. Yeah.
Yes. We have Magic Snow Cone bus will be out there. So, and it's supposed to be a little warm, so that may be really good. We have Bugged Out Lemonade coming. We have the kettle corn guy from Fair on the Square.
Oh, okay.
Who doesn't love him? He will be there. So
he smells so good.
I know. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So all those will be out there that day and providing some great food. So come out and enjoy it. And that's all. That's really the only thing you need money for. So
Well, that's
and
it.
that won't be much.
Yeah, so come on out again, Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Hey, stay all day. There's going to be activities for the family, and you can even stay, have lunch. It is going to be a phenomenal event. And we'll be out there, too, and just kind of hanging out and interviewing a few people and helping to promote the good that CASA's doing. But we want to see you there, Huntsville, so show up and show up big, and let's have a great event. And all of this, of course, going to support CASA. They do such incredible work, and I love how you partner. Lori, you're such a mastermind at bringing people together and not only benefiting y'all's organization, but by the benefit of y'all's organization at CASA, this is benefiting everyone that comes out. So great.
Absolutely. And this is a fundraiser, obviously, for CASA, but it's a very small fundraiser. That is not the real purpose of this event. The purpose of this event is just to bring the community together.
Yeah.
To get more people to know about CASA, of course. We want everybody to know about CASA. But it's also just to, like I said, bring each other together, and so that we can share your successes and what you do with the community as well. I hope to make this grow even bigger next year. It actually is bigger this year than it was last year. We've added more spaces and more booths and more vendors, and so we'll continue to grow, and maybe one day we'll have to move it to a different location.
You'll have to partner up with like 4 churches.
Yeah, I
know. In Austin, we had what's called the Motor Mile. I was talking about this yesterday. It was funny. In Austin, we have the Motor Mile. The Motor Mile on I-35 was literally a mile stretch of tons of auto dealerships. So all the dealerships, when they advertised, come see us on the Motor Mile, and all, everyone knew what the Motor Mile was because it was just dealer. I started thinking, man, we got the church mile out there on 30 because there's like 4 or 5 churches. So it's
and
a church mile.
It's Church Row.
That's Church Row right there.
And
so
they're all,
great.
all of those organizations out there, all those churches out there are partnering with us, providing that service for the shuttle and the parking. So
that's great.
That's super great. But I also want to mention we have a showcase area, and so we'll have several performances out there. The Ballet Folklorico is going to come out, and Huntsville ISD Grenadier Guard will be out there, and then several of our vendors will be performing. So there's entertainment as well. The fire department, the police department, the sheriff's department, all be out there with some of their vehicles, so the kids can check that out and get some freebies while they're there. And there's just so much to see and do, and I it's free. So
yeah, it's great.
What more can you ask for?
That's right. Well, Clay, thank you and Eastco for partnering up. I think it's so important. I've always said this in business, that it's important for businesses to be involved in their local communities. You guys you go above and beyond all the time, and especially partnering with CASA and this All Things Kids Expo. What a great day it's going to be. And many valuable community partners making it happen, including the presenting sponsor, Eastco. So, Clay, we appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, so many know us from our billboard on the freeway. They say, what billboard? I see the van parked on the freeway coming northbound on I-45. And we've done that for years, a little guerrilla marketing. And Eastco, put your mind at ease, call Eastco, but it's an honor to be involved in the community, and especially with working with Laura and CASA. It's a win-win-win, so come be a part.
Great.
When I reached out to Clyde and Elena, they jumped on this opportunity. They loved it, and because it's about children. And, and they've always been those type of people, and so we're excited to have them. Can I mention something else before we go?
Sure.
I know you remember this because you were a part of it last year, but we are bringing back the jewelry contest.
Okay, yeah, great.
And I really want to encourage people to get involved in that Sketches to Sparkles Jewelry Design Contest, if you remember. It's open to any child ages 5 to 12. The cost is only $5. The child will draw something that they love, a dinosaur, a dragonfly, a butterfly, whatever they like to draw. And they'll submit their artwork, and we will judge those, and one lucky winner will have their masterpiece turned into a piece of jewelry. And this is not just costume jewelry. This is legit. It will be valued at $3,000.
Yeah, that's
awesome. And that is provided by Elliott's Jewelers. We did this last year for the first time. He partnered with us. It was actually his idea, and I think you came to the unveiling and the celebration where we announced our winner, the little girl that won last year. She was so excited, and she was able to give that necklace to her mom for Mother's Day. It was really, really a special time. Wow. So we're doing that again. The contest booth will be at the Kids Expo, so they can stop by there. They can create the art piece there and turn it in that day, or they can take it home and bring it back to the CASA office. The contest ends on Monday at 5 o'clock. You do have to have it in. The information is on our website as well, and you can actually submit online. But we'd love for you to come out to the booth and do that at the Kids Expo. And like I said, somebody's going to win a $3,000 piece of jewelry. Awesome. And you know what's really cool about it is they created it, so it's going to be a cherished memory that you're going to have forever. And if they give it to Mom, I mean,
yeah, there you go.
Gosh,
that's an heirloom jewelry. Yeah, and little Sarah won that last year, Sarah Santos, and I've seen her and her. It's kind of neat how Huntsville works because you see folk, and then all of a sudden it seems like you keep seeing them, and they become like your friends. And I've ran into her and her family so many times at the grocery store now and everything, and I always ask about that jewelry. It's just so beautiful.
She was super excited, and she did a really good job, and it just is just a neat opportunity for these kids,
Yes, ma'am. Well, Laura, thank you. Clyde, thank you so much, and for what you guys do here in the community. More information online at CASAofWalkerCounty.org. Also for heating and HVAC services. Make sure, I just said heating and then I said it again. It was kind of a repeating, heating and HVAC. Well, that's the same, for all of your heating and air conditioning, ventilation, give our friends
indoor air quality,
all the things,
dehumidification.
Give them a call. It's Eastco, and let's support local businesses who especially ones who are giving back. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you for having us.
A lot of joy here on a Thankful Thursday.
A lot of fun. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Come back sometime.
All right. We'll give you that break you were asking about.
Yes, sir. I'm going to hold you to it. Jason's our witness here. He's a notary. We're going to have him. We'll get him to notarize this. We'll be good to go. So, well, thank you all again. Again, CASAofWalkerCounty.org for more information. Thank you, Laura.
And we'll see you Saturday.
We will. See you Saturday at 9 a.m.
Saturday.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Jason Bay joins us. It's a little news you can use here on a Thankful Thursday. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. More to come. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville, brought to you by First Baptist Church, a harbor of hope in our community. More information online at fbchuntsville.org or go to the App Store and search for the FBC app. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." At First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their third house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it, be about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery, real hope.
right, back at it. Speaking of Johnny Cash.
Yes.
I hear that train a coming, Jason.
Yes. You got a Johnny Cash voice.
Right around the band.
You could do it.
Did he smoke?
Probably, but I don't think in his later years. You know, my dad was one of the he loved country music. He loved country music. He was a connoisseur of country music. And so whenever I graduated college, you know, he was so proud of me because he really wanted me to go to A&M and graduate. And I had saved up some money, and he and I took a road trip together. And I'm so thankful that we did, because it's right after that he got sick, and I didn't get a lot of time. He died when he was 63 years old, and so I didn't get a lot of time with him. But we went. I had planned this road trip out, and he and I went to Nashville, went to the Grand Ole Opry, and Opryland was there, and we went up to Pigeon Forge in Tennessee, and we went to Memphis and saw a lot of the old recording stuff. Went to Graceland, which is overrated, but it was a great trip. It was one of those things that you just write down, and it's a memory of just he and I that I'll always have. But he loved country music. He loved Johnny Cash, and when Johnny Cash, for Christmas years before that, Johnny Cash wrote a book called The Man in White, because you know he's always known as the Man in Black, and it was a story about how he became a Christian and how he gave his life to the Lord and what God had done for him. And so later in his life, you know, he married June Carter, and June Carter was singing with the Carters, and she was known. They sang a lot of gospel music, and she was the one person that really transformed Johnny Cash from his addictions and all the other things that came along with him to help lead him back to the Lord. But that's a great book, and it's one my dad loved to read too. And his favorite music artist was George Jones, though. That's who he loved. Come on. He loved the best. But you're in the middle of a story about Johnny Cash, so go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just thinking, because we're sponsoring the train at the All Things
Kids
Expo.
Yeah.
So, but man, Jason, one day it would be awesome if you share a little bit about the life of your dad. I love the stories that you tell about him, and I so wish I could have met him and known him.
Yeah. No, he was
awesome.
He was a great big man in my life, and just but that, like I said, that was. You know, I'd saved some money because we were going to take a senior trip. Some friends, my roommate, and so I had about $2,500 saved up, and we were going to go through the Old South, you know, and drive through there. And last minute they couldn't go, and I was like, well, you know, Dad, come with me. And so he and I went, and I was so glad it worked out that way, because it was just a time I'll never forget. But we had some great times and saw a lot of neat stuff and ate a lot of good food, and like I said, just he and I on the road together.
Did y'all do a lot of Merle Haggard and Hank Williams?
We went to the there was at the Ryman Auditorium. You know, that's where the Grand Ole Opry used to be. They had a musical play of Hank Williams Sr.'s life, and we saw that. It was the guy that played Hank Williams could sing just like Hank Williams. It was great. But yeah, we took it all in. It was really memorable and a fun time.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there thinking of all these songs that, you know, George Jones, Merle. I grew up. My dad listened to all that. So growing up, and then like Shania Twain would come on, and he'd be like, and he would start like mocking her, and he's like, I don't want to listen to this, and he'd turn it to some other station.
Yeah.
We didn't have country legends in Austin, you know, like they had here in Houston. So
yeah, you know that. So you know, I hardly ever listen to the radio station anymore. I just don't. I listen to my phone or whatever. You know. Hello, Huntsville.
Yeah,
and
you're on it every morning.
Yeah, I am. And so, anyway, but yesterday, I slammed my phone into the door of my truck over the weekend. So Easter Sunday, I'm driving home. I'm wearing my suit. My phone falls out of my pocket down into the side of the truck. I get out of the truck, close the door, boom, smashes my phone completely. I mean, and it wouldn't even come on, nothing. And, I mean, life without your phone nowadays is like
lost.
Yeah, no kidding. So I texted the people that I work with, because I went on to AT&T website and ordered me a new phone.
Yeah, I texted you. I said, man, Pastor don't even want to talk to me anymore.
Yeah. You left me like a 3-minute voicemail.
Like this,
I felt like an idiot.
This tragedy was happening. No, it wasn't a tragedy.
Well, it sort of was.
I don't even remember what it was now, to be honest.
I don't want to get into it.
Yeah. Tell me afterwards.
Yeah, I will. Anyway, so I smashed my phone. So I get in the truck, and it's totally quiet. There's nothing hooked up, so I clicked through the radio station, and one of my memory buttons that was from years ago was 97.1, which is the
Country Legends.
Yeah, Country Legends. Now it's not. It's K-Love now, Christian station. They bought them out, I guess. It went under.
They're it's kind of like you have that one group called Spirit Radio, and then K-Love's right there. I think Spirit Radio is number 1 now in the nation, and then K-Love's number 2. No.
Definitely, no question.
Well, that's great. Well, it's one of my favorite times of the week, and I lied. Elliot's actually coming he's coming for the 500th episode, the 500th episode. Man, I did it again. Elliot's coming next week.
All right,
but now it's time for the Jason Bay News You Can Use.
All right,
from Studio 1229J, here's Jason Bay.
All right. Thank you, Rob, for that wonderful introduction. Gets better each and every week. Need to keep adding things to that.
I've been working on it.
A bragging montage there for.
Almost said, here's Johnny.
Absolutely. But I do have some news you can use today, and this is news brought to you to help you generate discussion with your family members, friends, to influence the great overlooked art of communication, giving you something to talk about at home.
Your intro gets better every week too, by the way.
Well, I'm trying to tell people in a roundabout way that this isn't political news or news that is very important necessarily. It's news that you can discuss and news we want to talk about, right? But I brought in some interesting videos because this video this week has went viral, probably, and I don't know if you've seen it yet, but it's all over the news. And it's an interview between a set of identical twins. And have you seen this video?
No, I haven't seen any of it.
This is perfect then, because I want to get your initial reaction to this. It's a interview with a set of identical twins from Australia that witnessed this shooting. And I want you to it's a tragedy that's taking place. But I just want you to watch the video, and then we'll discuss the video afterwards. This video has gone viral all over. It's one of the most viewed videos on YouTube currently.
Well, we were in cleaning our birds, and we heard this big bang. We said, oh no, another car accident. So we drop everything, and we went running out the front. We seen Mum running out from the house up there. And then the other cars were pulling up and checking to see if the person was okay. And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, run, he's got a gun. And our heart started to pound, and I said, oh Mum, where's Mum? And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, are you all right? Because he had all blood all over his face. And he goes, I'll shoot you. She goes, hey, I'm here to help. And Mum distracted him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way, and Mum ran into the bush behind the fence. And the guy goes to her, I'll find you and I'll shoot you. Yes.
How did she distract him initially? Did she just say, like, look the other way?
Well, he must have been going, I don't know, but he looked the other way, and then that's why she did an escape. And then I'm so glad that young guy, he said, run, he's got a gun. And then we've seen heaps of people running into our facility here and our house yard. Our house yard as well, and they were hiding in there too. So we went running around, closing and locking all doors. Just in case, because we didn't know where he was at the time. And then a car, he pulled up, like the car what was over the road there. He went and approached that car and pulled the young girl out he was driving. And her mum and dad was in the car too. She goes, yes, take me car. Yeah.
So how many people do you think? Did they come in here as well?
Yeah,
Then?
yeah, people. Oh no,
not
not
those
the
people.
family. No. We just was speaking to him out the front, and we gave him all a big hug. Yeah, and the guy who said run, he's got a gun. We said thank you. Yeah.
He saved lives.
Yeah. All I was thinking about when we were running, I hope he doesn't fire. Yeah, we were so blessed.
How close to him do you think you were?
Well, see, he was up there, and we were passed out.
when you so maybe 100 metres.
Yeah. You don't think of all of that at the time. No, you just run for your safety.
What I mean, when he was on the run and you had all the people in here, what were people talking, or were you being quiet?
No, we were all silent. Everyone was silent, and even one young couple went behind our friend's caravan and hid. Yeah, and we seen a leg coming over our fence. There we said, "Oh God, I hope that's not him," but it was another person.
Oh, someone trying to. So someone literally climbed over the fence.
Yeah.
How you like that, Rob?
Oh, wow. Channel 7, courtesy of Channel 7, by the way, Australia. They were on the same wavelength.
Man, I don't know, Rob. That and by the way, this isn't fake. These two girls, since this video has gone viral, they've interviewed them several other times on different media outlets. They're, like I said, they've got their popularity has gone way up. But if you can't see the video, they're wearing identical clothes. How old would you say they are?
Probably in their late 50s.
Maybe a little younger. They probably had a hard life, but Australia.
I'm really bad with like ages and names.
Probably 40s, but can you imagine
late 50s?
Can you imagine? First of all, let me ask you this: do you know anything that they said? Can you describe what happened in the story?
Yeah, run from the gun is the only thing I know, or whatever.
Because you're so distracted by the way that they're talking, you can't hear. Your mind is just fried because what they're saying. You're just concentrating on how they're talking.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Like they're on the same way. What do you think that happens during Thanksgiving and they're telling family
That's
stories?
What I'm saying. I mean, goodness. Can you imagine trying to live?
Do they have to live together?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. They kept saying they probably live with their mom because apparently there was. But you can't understand. I mean, it would just drive me nuts trying to. That reporter was fishing for them to say more. Yeah.
He
was trying to keep.
He knew this was going to go viral.
He was keeping the interview going as long as possible.
Oh man, where'd you find it? Just popped up and now it's viral.
No,
right?
No, this is gone. This is all over the news and everything. It's in fact, I turned the news this morning and they were talking about it because, I mean, that's got to be crazy to. They say they go everywhere together. And every time they talk, they double speak like this.
That's crazy.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I just.
How do they not annoy each other?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I mean, it's got to be maddening to go and you're trying to. You can even see the reporter. He doesn't know whether to put the microphone here or there, so he just kind of keeps it.
Puts it in the middle. Wow. I'm going to start trying to do that with you when you're talking, Jason.
Yes.
Try to.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. See, even 2 seconds, it's annoying, right?
I know. That's what I'm thinking at first. When you watch that video for the first time, you're thinking that the one sister is going to look over there at the other one and say, "Would you quit it? I'm talking. You can talk after me."
Yeah.
But no, they've just grown used to it. And then when the other one takes the leadership role, this one's trying to say what this one is saying.
We need to interview them on this show.
Yeah, so this kind of drove me down into a rabbit hole of some of the funniest interviews. We need to get this going again in America. We need more funny interviews from people because we're running out of them. We need people to interview more people on the street that have funny things to say and just to give us a little humor in life.
We need
that. Yeah, we do. So I brought some that are famous, a couple of them that are famous throughout, have gone viral, some of the most watched interviews of in YouTube One of the ones that I love, one of my favorite interviews is Sweet Brown. Have you ever heard of Sweet Brown?
Oh, yeah. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, so let's roll that one.
Josh is going to love this one. And here's the deal, though. Before this goes, she didn't listen to me, but I was saying ain't nobody got time since I was probably 12 years old. And then this video comes out, and I was like, that lady found us somehow. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
One resident describes her horrifying experience when she first realized the complex was on fire.
Well, I woke up to go get me a cold pop, and then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. And then the smoke got me. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
According to the apartment manager, the fire started in a woman's home who is wheelchair bound. She was treated for smoke inhalation at a local hospital. There were no other reports of injuries. The Red Cross is helping.
You gotta admire the news anchors
I know
too
it,
for
man.
keeping their composure.
Yeah, she can't even crack a smile at it and say, "Oh, I mean, wouldn't that lady be fun to talk to? Don't you wish we could interview Sweet Brown on this station?"
Oh my goodness, I'd love. I don't even know her, but I feel like she's been my friend my whole life.
That's what I'm saying. Just a great person to be around. Has a lot of joy in her life. And by the way, so when I was doing some going down in this rabbit hole, I found a post interview with her that they did a couple of years later with her and her son.
Mm-hmm.
And the person interviewing them asked them, they said, does she like this all the time, or was it she saw the camera and wanted to be on the camera? And their son was like, no, this is her all the time.
I love it.
Yeah, I know. She just looks like a great person to be around. But
Miss Brown, are you okay? I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
I mean, we need more of this. Rob, you need to get the microphone and go out on the streets of Huntsville and find us some entertaining people everybody's got a story, and it's fun to hear people's stories.
We should just do that. We should just literally go out like, hey, we're just doing random interviews. Everybody's got a story. Tell us your story.
Yeah. No telling. We'd probably go viral too, because we got some stories around Huntsville. Speaking of Alabama, another one that I love is the story of the leprechaun in Alabama. Now, let me see which one that one is.
This is an Alabama
leprechaun.
Sounds like a good old country song.
Oh, man, you're going to love this
the
one.
Old Alabama
this is one of the best.
leprechaun. Here it is.
Well, just in time for St. Patrick's Day, crowds are coming by the dozens to get an up-close view at what some say is a piece of Irish folklore.
Some people in the Crichton area of Mobile say a leprechaun is taking up residence in their neighborhood. A leprechaun. NBC 15's Brian Johnson has more.
Curiosity leads to large crowds in Mobile's Crichton community, many of you bringing binoculars, camcorders, even camera phones to take pictures.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me. All you gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else seen the leprechaun? Say yeah!
Eyewitnesses say the leprechaun only comes out at night. If you shine a light in its direction, it suddenly disappears. This amateur sketch resembles what many of you say the leprechaun looks like. Others find it hard to believe and have come up with their own theories and explanations for the image.
My theory is it's casting a shadow from the other limb.
Could be a crackhead that got hold to the wrong stuff, and it told him to get up in a tree and play a leprechaun.
We're going to get down to the bottom of this. Yeah, it's still on there, guy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, man.
This guy helping to direct traffic says he's prepared for his encounter with the leprechaun. He's suited up from head to toe.
This wars off spells right here. This is a special leprechaun flute, which has been passed down from thousands of years ago from my great-great-grandfather who was Irish. I just came to help out.
Others just came to get lucky in hopes a pot of gold may be buried under this tree.
I'm gonna run a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want to know where to go. I want to go. Give me the go. I want to go.
This is Brian Johnson, NBC 15 News.
People will do anything for a pot of gold. I mean, anything.
You know what I like? I like the amateur sketch of the leprechaun. It looks like somebody got a really good look at it and got that good drawing out there.
Who did that? I want to know who sketched that.
I don't know. Maybe Brian sketched.
Oh, this is classic, Jason. Man,
That's one of the best ones.
yes, I love that one part where he's like, "This flute has been handed down for generations." You know that guy. Those people were just having fun with it, man. Those are my people, man. I'd love to hang out with those folks.
Yeah,
and be like,
no kidding.
Let's make up some more fun stuff. Did they ever find the leprechaun? I wonder.
Well, there is a follow-up story to that one because that one went viral as well, and there was literally a guy up in the tree there that was dressed up like a leprechaun.
Oh man,
yeah, that is pretty good. And talking about amateur sketches, I brought one more that I wanted to show you. It's that one there. Let's watch this one real quick for this amateur sketch.
Now, this just in, police officers in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, were asking people to be on the lookout for a man who robbed a store. And I think we do have his description. Can we take that? Let's take his description. Okay, this is the guy they wanted people in Pennsylvania to be out on the lookout for. He's got a nose and some hair that goes like that, and he was wearing a hat at the time of this particular crime. He's got kind of a chin that comes down to almost a point. Stands about 5 feet 4 inches tall. There it is. Get a good look for yourself. Oh, and now I'm getting word that police actually caught this guy, thanks to the sketch, no doubt. So here's a picture of the real guy next to the sketch that led to his arrest.
Where's the pointy chin?
It's uncanny, Lisa. The guy on the left is now charged with 2 counts of theft, is being held in the Lancaster jail. And I say give that sketch artist a raise.
This wouldn't be so funny, except it's a real sketch.
That was actually the sketch that the police sent out to the good folks in Lancaster. And, hey, to their credit,
They've got him.
they came through.
Just her reaction. There was a meme going around, and it was like suspect wanted, and the news anchor looked just like the sketch. Have you ever seen that one?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that was a funny one too. We need more of this type of humor,
that's
man.
That's what I'm talking about. We've got to get out. You want people to start watching news again? I mean, we need people to go out and interview people on the street. We need street reporters to give us the real reaction of what's going on, because it doesn't just get any more funny than that.
That's great, Jason.
Yeah, so there's some news you can use. I have a few others if we have time.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Sam's Club. I don't know if you heard about this. This is news in business. Sam's Club is phasing out all the checkouts. Do you use Sam's Club?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Won't be anymore.
Okay, well, have you ever used their scan and go thing?
Yeah, I don't like that stuff.
Okay,
Bridget does it.
Yeah, so that's what they're going to, but also they're adding a new phase to it, and it's just called, the new thing is going to be called Just Go. It uses AI. I'm not sure. The article doesn't say exactly how this AI works, if you're going to have to scan it or if it has some way of scanning it for you, but they're going to be phasing out all of their checkouts in the Sam's Club over the next few years. They're already doing it in Grapevine, Texas. So this is something that is setting them apart from Costco, which is their biggest competitor. You ever use Costco?
Yeah, I go to Costco at least twice a month. We love Costco.
So Costco is keeping the checkout, their traditional checkouts. But
do you go to Costco?
I don't have a Costco card, but I've heard great things about it. But I do have a Sam's card. We go over to College Station and pick up groceries there and stuff. And I've used the scan and go before, but I can understand how it would be frustrating to people that don't have even if you don't even have a cell phone, or if you just want to buy one thing, you just go in there and pick something up real quick and go through the checkout. But what they're saying they're going to do is they're going to keep their people to help facilitate this around the store. They're going to spread them out throughout the store and help facilitate that. Now, that's going to be short-lived, because their ultimate goal would be to reduce payroll. That's probably what their
I know
ultimate
there's a
goal is.
convenience factor, obviously, but the sad part of all of this is the less interaction with people we have. I don't think it's good. I think we are moving so far away from people interacting with each other that I think you fast forward 100 years from now, and people are going to look back and say, boy, they made a big mistake. And that's just what I believe. We talk about it in the church sense all the time. The church is community. We need each other.
Yeah, I know. It's so sad to see the progression of things moving away from human interaction. That's what it is. You used to buy things locally, you used to shop locally because you wanted to help out people in your community. You know what I'm saying? You bought your shoes from, I remember Roger's Shoes used to be up here on the square, and that's where my family always bought their shoes because they knew that family, and they would always support the local businesses. My grandpa always bought all of his parts from Reliable, which is right here down the road from the church, and he knew the Finuses and he knew Finus and their family, and it was so good because you supported them and they supported you. But then the big box stores started coming in, and they started undercutting all the local businesses, and people stopped thinking about what's best for my family and what's best for your family, and they started thinking about what's best for me, what's best for my family, what's the cheapest option. And that ran a lot of the small businesses out. And we still have that problem today, as a matter of fact. But I think that human interaction is so important, and I think the less human interaction we have, the more socially irresponsible we become. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier to get angry. It's a lot easier to treat people with disrespect when you don't know who you're dealing with.
Well, I mean, a good example of this, think just how people are treated that are from call centers whenever they call you.
Exactly.
Those are people on the other line. They're just trying to do their job, and they can't help it that they've had subpar training.
Right.
I mean, that's usually what it comes down to.
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, they're trying to make a living too.
I want to be clear. I'm guilty of this, and I've really, especially over the last few years, I have been so mindful now to people on the other end of the line, and I've learned to be respectful, and I've learned to say, you know what, that's a chance to plant a seed right there, because those poor people get yelled at all day long, and if I can be that one spark or that one little seed that that the Lord would grant me to plant, and just be kind to that person. And so I make it a habit of saying, if there's something I'm not happy with, I say, I know it's not your fault. You're just doing your job. I'll say, I'm frustrated, but I know it's not your fault. And I said, I know that people don't treat you well, and I'm just praying that you have a blessed day. And I've even asked some people, is there anything you need prayer for? And it's neat, the response you'll get from some people.
That is, a little bit goes a long way, because there's so little human interaction. We need more of it. All right, moving on to Fortune Magazine. Fortune Magazine published an article this week, and the title of the article is "Gen Z is Reviving This Boring Job That Millennials and Boomers Abandon, and it's helping them land six figures." Now, think about what job they're talking about. Let me just read the headline again. Gen Z is reviving this boring job that millennials and boomers abandoned, and it's helping them land six-figure incomes. Any idea what it might be?
Do you have any type of a hint, or will it give it away?
Yeah, I was trying to think of a hint. It has to do with, what we just went through, April the 14th, 15th, you would need one of these.
April the 15th. Something to do with taxes. It's people that are tax preparer.
Yeah, accountants.
Accountant, okay.
Yeah, and so this job is really becoming very, very needed, because a lot of the boomers, this was their job, and they're finding fewer and fewer people were going into this line of work. And so it was an industry that was facing a talent shortage crisis. It was at one point lamented as one of America's most boring jobs, but Gen Z is realizing this six-figure career opportunity and gaining experience by helping individuals file their taxes for free. So in this article, it says that some 340,000 accountants have already left their calculators behind and quit in the past 5 years, and some estimates suggest that 75% of those remaining are expected to retire in the next decade. Think about it. Most of accountants that you think of are older, right? I mean, when you think about it. And so I can see how this is a great opportunity for the next generation. So if you have a child going through school and they're good in math, encourage them to go into accounting, because there is a shortage of accountants. And so we need that. You like accounting?
Absolutely not. That's why I have Sarah Jones, CPA, in Conroe that's been helping me for years. You know, Nancy Reeves of Tax Express referred me to her because she said there's some complicated things that I don't really mess with, but she said go to Sarah. And Sarah's been really good. And I've seen her little accounting office, and maybe this is just what you're talking about. She wasn't well known. I mean, she was just getting started, and now I was kind of worried. I was like, man, my rate's going to go up, because I started seeing billboards on I-45 with her, and I was like, hey, please keep mine the same.
Yeah.
But she's not bad. She does really great work, and I can see this now based on that article. So,
the Wall Street Journal published an article this week about Starbucks coffee. Do you ever go to Starbucks?
No, sir. I think it's too expensive. I can't do it.
Well, in fact, a lot of people are feeling that way, and the coffee chain is losing a lot of their customers to lower price coffee, such as McDonald's and other places that are offering coffee, this more high-end coffee than just a regular cup of coffee. And so they're losing a lot of their customers. So they're trying to figure out ways to gain business back.
Yeah, but see, I think they're losing their. I don't want to cut you off, but I thought of this, Jason. My mind will lose it. I think that they're losing it because of the way that they try to force tips on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's one reason that I don't like going to places to where they throw that thing in front of you.
Yep.
And instead of being, look, if you want a tip, just say, hey. I would much rather someone say, hey, if I served you well today, you don't have to, but feel free to leave a tip. Instead of answer the question. That's what they do. They put it in front of you and say, here's this, and answer a few questions.
And a lot of people like me think about that before you go to places. Well, if I go to McDonald's, I don't have to pay a tip. They're not even going to ask me. Whereas I go here, well, there's another $2 I got to add to it, or $1 or whatever. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely one. But one of the ways they're trying to draw people back in is they're asking, and if you went to Starbucks lately and you saw something written on your cup, it's not an accident. They're encouraging their baristas to indulge their inner artist and doodle on the cup, to drawing different smiley faces or dogs or other doodles, and they're encouraging them to write little messages like "Have a great day." And this is direct orders from the coffee chain's CEOs to every cup that goes out to have some sort of uplifting doodle on the side of the cup or a message that the barista has left you. So if you think that your barista at your local coffee shop just really likes you, you may be falling for something that's not true, because it's just something they're trying to do to retain their customers.
I walked into a Starbucks the other day, and there's something new going on here, Jason, that I wanted to show everybody real quick. This is kind of what I saw when I walked in there. There we go. I mean, is that a coffee, or is that my wallet?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. If that's what's happening at Starbucks, I need to go over there and apply for a job. But I think what they need to do is just pay their employees more.
Yeah.
If that's the problem.
Exactly.
All right. One other thing. This is a word of caution to our parents out there. This is from the Huffington Post. KYS is concerning acronym every parent should know about. Have you ever heard of that?
No, sir.
This is something going on in social media today, that if you see KYS, or if your kids are using that acronym, please teach them what it really means, because what it stands for is kill yourself.
Oh no.
Yeah, and a lot of teens are using that, and they're using it in a jokey way, a lighthearted manner. And a lot of times, if there's something that they think is funny, that's the way they respond to it. But this article is saying, with the rise in cyberbullying and the suicides that accompany that, please teach your children. It's a great article, teaching your children about. That's something you don't joke around with.
No.
It's not funny. And in fact, it also can be used as KEYS if you see them using that. And the reason why they use KEYS is because in some social media platforms, KYS is setting off notices to, and they're getting blocked. So they use KEYS to kind of go under the radar. But yeah, the KYS, if you see your kids using that, it's an acronym for kill yourself. So just be aware of that. This is something going on that a lot of kids are using just in a lighthearted manner, but that's something definitely we shouldn't be lighthearted about with what we see going on in our world today.
And I want to encourage parents, as a dad myself now, I'm starting to let Braylon watch a few things, not much, but she knows how to work the Facebook portal, and we have it on a kids mode, but I'm very careful about not just letting her sit there. I make sure that I keep an eye on what she's watching. And she doesn't do it all, obviously all day long, but a little bit. And I just want to encourage parents, keep an eye on what your kids are watching. And also keep an eye on what you're watching in front of your children.
Yeah.
A movie, while it may not be a terrible movie or anything extremely inappropriate, it could be inappropriate for a child.
Yeah.
A perfect example of this is I was watching like the Chosen series. Well, there's some things in there that are pretty graphic.
Right.
And especially, you're talking about King David and those scenes. I mean, it's, we know what happens. And there's some pretty graphic scenes in there, and you'd think, well, this is a Christian show, and that's what I'm talking about. Things that's okay as adults, we understand. And then, so we were sitting there watching, and all of a sudden, I was like, whoa, something about Bridget's like, turn this off quick. I had no idea when I first started watching some of this stuff. So just be very careful as a parent. Jason, I know you guys with your children, obviously, that's something you've got to keep an eye on. It's just watch what your children do. And I'm going to say this, not to butter you up, but I was telling Molly yesterday, I said, y'all have 10 children, Jason, and y'all have done such an incredible job. Every single one of y'all's children, from your oldest to your youngest, are so respectful.
Well, and Molly, I appreciate that.
Molly said your wife. She said your wife is a. I forget how she worked. She didn't. She said your wife was a saint. She had to be a saint. So
she is. But it's not always like that. We have our battles just like everybody else does, and I think that's the reality. And then nobody's perfect, and that brings me to this last article. How old are you, Rob?
Well, getting up there.
All right, let's hear it. How old?
41.
Okay, perfect. This article is for you and me.
As long as it's nothing to do with heart problems, because I'm nervous about that.
Oh, by the way, I read an article on that too.
Just keep that away from me, because I'll start having nightmares.
Well, this article talked about the rise in people under 50 having heart attacks.
No.
You need to go check it out.
I know.
Rob.
I'm nervous about that, man.
Because there's like a 65% increase in people under 50 now having heart attacks. But anyway, this article is about the title of the article is Parents Over 40. That's you and I both. I'm 49.
Great.
Are confessing the hard truths about having kids that no one talks about. So these are some things that people talk about that after you get 40 and up, you kind of reflect on parenthood and what
I'm just getting started with parenthood.
Well, I am too. I never stop. So here's some things that people are saying, and I like some of these. It says, I didn't expect how guilty you constantly feel for no reason at all. The pressure we end up putting on ourselves, we try to hold ourselves to standards we see portrayed online, is exhausting. I think that is, it is, because you, as a parent, you always are going to fail. You're never going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. You've confessed that on this radio show before of how and then that guilt that comes along with that is hard to endure.
I called Barry one time when I yelled at my child. I said, I swore I'd never yell at my kid, and I felt so bad I called Barry.
The other person said, making sure each child feels loved and valued equally, especially when they're at different ages and stages and have extremely different personalities. With 10 of them, I say, I feel that too. I think you really have to be intentional about trying to make each child feel valued and unique and appreciated. And I know, like, even when we're planning events or planning family vacations, we try to plan things where everything is for somebody. That we'll do something, maybe go to the beach, and certain one of them like this, but we may do something else. We may go see a movie that not all of them are going to like, but the younger ones are going to like. Well, we have to teach them hey, we want you to be a part of this. We want you to enjoy this, but this is not about you. This is about them. And I think that is part of the teaching aspect of it, is to be selfless and that not everything is going to be about you. You have to look for other people. And sometimes we do things. We may go to the trampoline park. Well, this one doesn't like to jump on the trampolines. Okay, well, that's fine. You can sit but we're going to do something for you. But right now we're doing it for them. And the best thing you could do is get out there and jump with them.
Yeah, and figure out a way to enjoy it.
Here's a couple of more. This person, and I haven't been here, and I can only imagine, but this person said the hardest part is making funeral arrangements and having to bury your own children. And this person wrote, I've had 5 children and 3 have passed away. And I can only imagine losing a child has to be the very most hardest thing that you could possibly go through. And that's not just as a young person losing a child younger, but even older. Our senior adults that lose their children that may be in their 50s or even 60s. It's never easy to lose a child, no matter what age they are.
Yeah.
During the teen years, kids can say hurtful things. Letting it go and reminding yourselves that they don't mean it is very hard. You haven't experienced that yet, but you will.
Well, I feel bad because my little girl, she's daddy's girl, and Caden is mama's boy. But my dad always said, I love you all the time to us. So I tell my children all the time, I say, I love you. And my little girl, I've said it to her so much and to my son so much now that he's starting to talk, and he'll say little bits of it. But every day, Braylon will tell me 3 or 4 times, I love you, Daddy. Just that. And like we were just driving to school this morning. It melted my heart because I'm driving them to Tomorrow's Promise, and we're halfway there, and she's just, in her own little world, and we don't have any of the screens in the truck. And I love that because they're aware of everything going on around them instead of being focused on a screen. And I'll never put those things in unless we go on a really long road trip. That's a different story. But we don't leave anything in there. And so when we're in this area, and even now they can go all the way 3-hour drive from here to Georgetown, and they don't need any of that stuff, which is great because we never put it around them in abundance.
Yeah.
And so she'll always look around, and as we're driving, she's like, "Look at that, Daddy!" And now she knows stop signs, so she'll tell me, "Stop, Daddy, stop." Yeah. I'm like, "Sweetheart, I am stopped," and she'll say, "Stop" when there's one on the other side of the road. Like I don't have to stop at that one. But the neatest thing, Jason, is out of nowhere. This morning, she's in her own world, and she just all of a sudden goes, "Daddy." I said, "Yeah, baby." She goes, "I love you, Daddy."
Oh, that's
just
awesome.
and it just melted my heart.
Yeah, no, there's not. I mean, being a parent is such a gift. That it reminds me, like when they do put down those devices and they do begin to look, when you are driving, the things we focus on, right here, and a lot of times I'll know what they focus on is different. That my daughter, she sits behind me in the car and she'll look out the window and say, "Oh, look, there's an airplane." I'm like, "Where?" Where? Oh yeah, there is an airplane right there. Because she's looking for different things than what I'm looking for. I'm just looking what's on the side, what's in front of me. But she's looking around and noticing different things. Like how they have these balls on the high lines.
Yeah, for the airplanes.
Yeah. She'll look at that ball stuck up there on that wire.
You're like, what is that?
Yeah.
Braylon told me last night, right before I put her to bed. She said it again. She goes, "Daddy, I love you." Then she goes, "But your belly's growing big like a flower." That's what she told me. I was like, "Thanks, sweetheart."
What a compliment.
And then I don't know where she goes, "You're a fat daddy." I said, "Don't say that, sweetheart."
No, Rob, no. All right, last thing. This person wrote, and then remember the title of the article is "Parents Over 40 Are Confessing the Hard Truths About Having Kids That No One Talks About." Last one I want to get to is choosing when to step back and when to speak up. I'm always mindful of the fact that once my kid thinks I'm nagging, they won't want to come to me if they need help. We used to call these, there used to be a phrase called helicopter parents. They hover over everything their child does. They're just kind of hovering over. But there's a new term for parenting, and it's called lawnmower parents. Have you heard this?
No, that sounds pretty ferocious.
Lawnmower parents try to not just hover, but try to get involved and fix everything for their child on their child's behalf. They'll do their work for them. They'll fill out applications for them. They'll do everything for them to try to clear out the way for them. They're mowing a path for them. And if anybody or anything, I'm sure teachers have dealt with this, gets in their way, they're the enemy, and they will come and attack and try to destroy anything that's in their child's way of making it. They're lawnmower parents. They're clearing the way out. So beware of that and know when to step back and let your child be a child. Know when to intervene and know when to let them make mistakes and guide them along.
That's great. I'm thinking right now in my mind, I won't say any name, but I think I know a lawnmower parent.
I think we all do.
And I don't want to be one of those. Hey, I wanted to share one last thing, Jason, that you'll really appreciate. I've been telling Braylon and I pray every night. She's through this phase where she doesn't like to read right now, and I don't like that. And so I'm not trying to force it on her, but I'm saying, sweetheart, well, I'm going to read then, and you can choose to be pouty and be there in your little corner if you want, but Daddy's going to read, and then she'll usually join in with me.
Yeah.
But we were reading last night, and then we always pray, and then she goes, Daddy, did you know Jesus died on the cross for us?
Oh, wow, that's
and
awesome.
I said, yeah, baby, I know that. And then she goes, did you know he spilled his blood? And I said, yeah, baby, I knew that. And then she goes, did you know he talks to his father? And I said, where did you learn all that? And she goes, Miss Kim, they've been in the nursery, and so they're doing such a great, Susan and our nursery workers. I mean, it's so wonderful. And I've told her things too, so I know that she'll say someone, but she puts it all together. And here's why I say this. It doesn't matter what age your child is. You can start teaching them truth as a believer as soon as they're born. And that's what we've tried to do.
I think that's what the nursery should be about, and I think that Kim and our other nurseries really make a concerted effort to do this, not just babysit the kids for an hour, but interact with them, to talk to them, to do things with them, to make art projects, and ultimately teach them about the Lord. And I think that's what our nursery and our children's department does. I think that every person that comes to our church and visits our church would be hard-pressed to say that their children didn't love it here, because the effort and energy that our teachers put towards the children.
I wanted to say, not to highlight us, because it's obviously all glory to the Lord, but I was talking to a young lady last night. She came to pick up her daughter, and her daughter came for the second time to youth last night, and I'd kind of been inviting them, and then her daughter knew a friend here that went, and she told me, she goes, my daughter's really enjoying it here. And I said, well, that's great. I said, what are some things she's enjoying? She said, she told me, she's like, Mom, they've got, the youth has their own worship band. They got their own room. She goes, this is great. And it's all those little things that end up being big things that really make the youth feel appreciated. And that's the way it should be anywhere.
Yeah,
and I love that. And Chad and Alan and all those guys, they do such a great job with our youth. And now this lady was telling me, she's like, I'm really going to start asking my husband. She goes, I think we really need to start coming here. They've
great.
never came.
That's wonderful. I mean, that's
that's awesome.
Yeah. Scattering seeds. That's what we're trying to do.
That's it. Well, hey, great show lined up today. Let's head over. Let's take a quick break, Jason. You got about 45. You ended up getting one, I see there. The energy drink has made its way over here.
Yeah, it did.
Well, let's take a quick break, very quick break, about a minute or so, and then we're going to come back and hit that Zero Degree Creations phone line. Hey, we've dug something out of the archives. Our friend Paul Oley listening today.
All right.
And Paul, this is a throwback to our buddy Paul Oley as we take a quick break.
Neon lights ignite. Paul Oley at the gallery, what a sight. Custom frames, each one with flair. You bring your art, he adds the care. We love you, Paul, oh yes we do. Your magic touch, you pull us through. Photography that sparks a flame. The gallery, a household name.
The church should be transformational. And maybe you've never been to church, or maybe life has left you feeling lost, but Jesus says, come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. At First Baptist Church, Huntsville, a harbor of hope, we're not trying to fit in with the world. We're here to help you step into something greater, a fresh start, a new life in Christ. Join us this Sunday at 10:45 and see what God can do in your life. Visit fbchuntsville.org. Hope is here, and we're saving a seat just for you.
Loving Jesus, loving people, side by side. In this harbor of hope, we are safe inside.
I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
All right, back at as we wrap up here on this episode of Good Morning Huntsville. We always appreciate you hanging out with. Always a lot of fun here on a Thursday. We get to go a little extended time than we normally do, but we appreciate it. By the way, Danny Webb was joining us. He goes here to first. We appreciate Danny, love him very much. He said, we were talking about my daughter earlier, that feeling I had with her. She said, I love you, Daddy. And he said, you know that feeling when kids tell you that? That's how the Lord feels when we tell him that.
Yeah,
Isn't that great?
Good.
And it gave me a whole new perspective just by him saying that. So, well, let's head over to the Zero Degree Creations phone and text line. We got a winner today. How about some Cafe Texan on the European line here?
European.
Hello.
Hello. Who are we speaking with this morning?
This is Sharon Dennis.
Miss Dennis. Do you have any idea who this is?
This sounds like the station that I'm listening at.
All right.
On the radio.
Well, maybe so. You're new, Miss Dennis, so I don't want to. We joke around with people sometimes, Jason, don't we?
Every time, Rob.
But we did. When you answered, Miss Dennis, you seemed so sweet. We said, I cannot joke around with this lady, so we're not going to pull your leg today. Okay?
No. We're just giving you the gift and hoping you enjoy some Cafe Texan.
Yeah. Well, Sharon, how'd you find us, Sharon?
Actually, I was just on the internet one day, and you all were talking, and I just decided to stay there to listen to all the good news that you all were talking about.
Praise
and
the Lord.
all the happenings, and especially about God.
Amen. Praise God. Well, we're glad to have you.
And you're here in Huntsville, Shannon? Is it Shannon or Sharon?
I live here in Trinity.
Trinity. All right.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's Sharon. That's right. Well, Sharon. Yes. So you've watched us for a little while then, right?
Yes.
All right.
Well, wonderful. Well, we're going to have our 500th episode. Did I say that right this time?
Yeah, 500.
500th
100 or something like that, you said.
We're going to have it on too. You have watched a little bit, and I'm not fishing for compliments, but what have you enjoyed most about our show?
Well, I have enjoyed, like the family aspect and, raising our children and how important it is, and marriage and putting God first. That's what I enjoy most.
Praise God. We're glad to have you.
Well, we're glad to have our friends from Trinity. We got a few folks from Trinity that watch every morning. And so,
great.
Sharon, we want to tell you, hey, in Huntsville, we tell people we love them, so we love you. We appreciate you. And we got a Cafe Texan gift card. You ever been to the Cafe Texan?
Years ago.
All right.
Oh, you'll love it. They remodeled it. It's really nice. Really great food over there.
Yeah. How often do you get to Huntsville?
Well, actually, I have 2 grandchildren that are in the school in Huntsville, so I'm over there, and my church is over there as well.
All right. Okay. Well, where do you go to church at? Mention your church real quick if you don't mind.
Greater Robinson Memorial Church of God in Christ, 515 Avenue M.
All right. Praise the Lord.
Well,
glad to have you.
Let your congregation know about the National Day of Prayer.
We're all getting together at the fairgrounds, Walker County Fairgrounds, May 1st.
Yep, May the 1st. So come out and
at noon, free lunch.
Let your pastor know, and then come back that night. Y'all are going to love Mike Satterfield. He's an evangelist from out of town, and we're trying to get all the churches involved, and we'd love to have you and your church come out.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for the invite.
You bet.
Thank you.
Stop by and pick up that gift card here at the church anytime before 3 o'clock. Our office closes, and you talk to Miss Molly, and she'll hook you up with that gift card, and you make yourself welcome over there at Cafe Texan anytime.
And
Okay.
And
where's your church located?
We'll text you. I'll text you after the show. So keep your phone. Okay. Well, now I did want to let you know there's one thing. Molly's going to lie to you about her age. So just she'll lie to you. She says that she's in her 80s. She's fibbing. She's really only about 48. So just a heads up on that. Okay.
Okay.
It's right next door to the Walls unit here in Huntsville. We're 1229 Avenue J.
Yep.
So right there, First Baptist Church.
Well, hey, Brother Jason, yes, ma'am. Brother Jason's got a quick question for you.
Yeah, what's your favorite thing about living in the community that you live in? Trinity there in Huntsville and Walker County and the expanded area that we live in. What's your favorite thing?
It's small. It's a small community. People, are close. They know one another, and they're looking out for one another.
That's what we got to do.
I like living in a smaller community.
Amen. Praise God. I do too.
Well, hey, thank you so much. What a blessing, Sharon. I'm so glad you texted us today, and congratulations.
Congratulations. We'll see you soon.
God is good. Thank
Amen.
you.
All the time.
All right. Bye-bye. Boy, that's wonderful. That just warmed my heart right there, that lady.
Yeah, I know. That was wonderful.
All right, we got a lot cranking. We're going to wrap it up. Jason, any final comments? Fun show today. Thank you.
Come see us on Sunday. If you don't have a church, if you do have a church, go be a part of that church. Worship the Lord. We're all one church under the Lord. There's only one church, and that's His church. Amen.
Amen.
And so we encourage you to be a part of your church on Sunday morning. And if you don't have a church, come see us.
Come perch at our church.
That's right. That's right.
So come see us here at First. We'd love to have you. Service, by the way, 10:45 on Sunday. And I encourage all of you, just like Jason said, real quick, just what we saw in Eastern. I talked to so many churches and folks. They said that their churches were completely full this Easter.
Wonderful.
Let's do that every single Sunday. It's our prayer here at First Baptist, honestly. It's our prayer. Jason will be the first to tell you that every church that believes in Jesus Christ needs to be filled to capacity every single Sunday. Not just here at First, but your church as well.
Amen.
Let's pray for that, and let's ask God to move. The Bible talks about being bold in your prayers. Let's ask God to continue to move in a mighty way. Revival here in Walker County.
That's right.
Well, that'll wrap it up. Big thank you to all of you. Again, our friend Laura Green and Clyde joining us from Casa of Walker County, Clyde with Eastco, and also, of course, Pastor Jason Bay here at First. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Billy and I will wrap up the week, so make sure you join us back at 7:30. We'll be here in studio at FBC. As I end every show, reminding you we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there this morning needs you. Big thanks also on a Thursday to Joshua Mashi for helping flip the cameras behind the scenes. That'll wrap it up. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you back at 7:30. Thank you, Jason.
God bless you.
Huntsville nights, neon lights ignite. Paul Lilly at the gallery, what a sight. Custom frames, each one with flair. You bring your art, he adds the care. We love you, Paul, oh yes we do. Your magic touch, you pull us through. Photography that sparks a flame. The gallery, a household name. Groovy tunes spin as he measures fine. Every picture perfect, every stitch in line. Disco balls and funky beats. Paulo Lee, the artist on the streets. We love you, Paul, oh yes we do. Your magic touch, you pull us through. Photography that sparks a flame. The gallery, a household name. Frames in gold, silver and bold. Memories captured, stories told. Holy, the maestro in town, with a camera and a custom crown. Feet stomping, lights flashing bright. Paul's got the groove, keeps the vibe tight. Huntsville's heart, the gallery glow. Frame by frame, Paul's talent flow. your magic touch, you pull us through.